Okay, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone in the world. So, in a few minutes, about to begin, let's discover how to create VR experiences with the SimLab VR Studio. So, without further ado, let me bring in as we discover how to create VR experiences. So, I would like to bring in our guest sharer. We call it sharer, it's a knowledge sharer, the business development manager for SimLab Soft, adding in Abe.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Jormac, for the sweet introduction. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Mechanic Web, for this great event. Indeed, this is a great cooperation and a great partnership that we aim to thrive to deliver one of the world's top demanded VR solutions and through you, the end users, that we actually always aim to please. And we always know that every institution that is built on customers' requests and demand and need, that's what we are actually here about to explain to you. Because SimLab Soft does, as most of you all know, that we have built a 3D VR software development. We are actually a 3D VR software development company and have built a complete VR platform, proudly stating this, that our users worldwide have found this solution quite impressive, because it gives them the ability to experience VR creation, VR running, VR collaboration. In other words, like the ability to host people inside whatever you have created, and VR sharing also. Not to mention, not to forget about the VR evaluation also. So we are the providers of a complete VR solution, or complete VR platform. That's how we like to call it. I'm going to ask you, if you may, Jormac, just a quick glimpse. I will be playing the video while sharing my screen. Basically, that's what we're here to introduce you guys, everybody. We're here to introduce you to the SimLab VR platform. That's why we call it a complete VR platform, because it includes not just only a creation tool. We're actually took this further to include sharing and running tools, and also a few more add-ons that enables you to have the full journey, or full VR journey. What we're here to discuss today is one of our creation tools, which is the VR Studio. VR Studio is solely oriented for VR creation. We've built this VR studio because we received so much demand on VR creation and development. The model for VR Studio is that you build VR without needing any technical skills, no coding, no programming, no design skills. Everything is well equipped inside the solution itself. You just download the free version, try it out yourself, mingle around, get to learn about VR creation, use your own designs. You have in addition to the millions of free to use 3D assets that's available for you when you just download the software or the VR Studio itself. The main idea of VR Studio is that we use visual scripting. I'll demonstrate shortly like what we mean by visual scripting. What you're looking at is the ability to connect. We're gonna, of course, run the solution itself. We're gonna build something really quick, but this is typically the top demanded VR creation solution worldwide, because it enables you not just to only create VR, that you can take this further with the add-ons, and you can try out so much designs of your own, and actually be able to share it and run it on a cross-platform VR viewer. This is a free SimLab VR viewer is a free cross-platform VR viewing tool. So one of the things that I quite confront when I engage or actually meet with customers or meet with end users, whether B2B or B2C operations, this is the main obstacle. Like in a few minutes, my friend Jormac will be sharing with you the new survey that we as VR solution providers, we were able to detect that this is the majority of obstacles that most of our users go through. To honestly speaking, so to have a platform that gives you a free running tool in addition to your creation solution, this is the VR Studio. This is a quite amazing at one place that you can find without needing to have to develop or build an independent standalone VR viewing tool or a platform or APK. So this is a complete package for you to start just VR creation. We'll get to the add-ons. I don't want to interrupt your flow of ideas or the complete big picture that I would like to build with you and the attendees. Here, what you're looking at basically is a similar a small map or mind map, we can call it. This is the landing page of SimLab Soft official website. What we're looking at is the VR Studio or top demanded solution. You see here, the Komodo is the number one code-free VR creation software. What you can see here is the VR Studio. You can actually go ahead and download the free version. You just log in, you just go to the website, and you can download it for free and try it out without any obstacles. You will have access to all the features, and in addition to this, you have free add-ons to test out and try out what we mean by the add-ons that actually complete your VR journey as an end user. The VR viewer, of course, like I said, and as SimLab always promises, is always free. It's a free cross-platform VR viewer. Whatever you planning to run your virtual reality content, it's over there. You can find it. You just upload it to your VR viewer account, and you can log into it and access it whether from headset, desktop, regardless of the domain or the operating system on the platform you're accessing it from. To complete your journey, we built an add-on for collaboration, which means that anything that you have created with VR Studio, you're able to share it and run it on the VR viewer with users, up to 30 users, to go into your creation live at the same time, interact with different objects. Like we're gonna build something really quick here on the VR Studio. And I'm gonna be creating a sequence of animations for you. It's not just actually interrupted by any other members, like 30 members accessing the same VR experience at the same time means that they each have get to have an independent scene. It's like a reality. It's a real reality scene. Except it's still in virtual reality, but it's a reality scene. It means that the users don't get to be interrupted by other users. So it's like a real live synchronous stream of an experience. So this is basically the idea behind VR collaboration, live multi-user VR experience. LMS VR is the last thing, as the last add-on I would like to introduce you to. Is like to complete your VR experience. If you are in a domain that requires some certain evaluation to test the metrics or assessment metrics of your end users, whomever is going to access your VR content on the VR viewer will be you will be able to evaluate their performance. Don't get afraid of the word LMS, learning management systems. It's not really a necessarily, you don't really need to have an LMS system in order to integrate your VR content. This add-on enables, it's correct, enables full integration with just any LMS system you might think of, because this content, the VR content that you have created, can be exported into most of the most popular formats in any LMS system on this planet. They are the XAPI and SCORM. So But on the other hand, you don't really need to have an LMS to try out this add-on because SimLab Soft already provides you with a free admin panel that you can access the for or actually the feedback, the performance feedback, the assessment metrics. Anybody access your VR content and you have included some sort of quizzes, tests, surveys you would like to receive answers from your end users, you will be able to access that on the admin panel, which is free from SimLab Soft. Also, this completes the journey for academic institutions, for vocational institutions, for medical institutions, any institution that actually would really benefit from using LMS system. You are able to integrate this solution with your existing LMS system by reflecting the results or the assessment results directly to your own LMS system. So we're done here with the mind map. I'll just run the VR Studio and build something for you guys, something really impressive. So this is basically the VR Studio. We built a VR experience real quick. Like, picture this three concept. We're talking about three words here: cost, time, and risk. CTR concept. It's like this solution, if you compare it just with any VR development or creation solution, considering the development that you need to have, the teams that you need to have, the coding, the all the trouble that you might have or already gone through, or you might go through in the future. We are in the business since 2007, almost 16 years. So we know exactly where our customer is actually making progress or having to have some issues. So we try to fix this as much as possible. I'll reshare my screen again to show you the solution itself. Okay, window. There you go. This is what you're looking at. Not sure if you can see. Oh, okay. This is the VR Studio, the building scene. Okay. So here, of course, you can download this for free. You have access to all the features. You just download it and sign in with your credentials, create a free account if you have to, and you'll be prompted to one of the top demanded worldwide, top demanded VR solutions because it's complete. Like I said, it comes fully equipped. Even on the free version, the only thing that you will have is the free. This is the limitations. We built this free version or the freemium because we believe that this complies with our risk factor. That's why I called it the cost, time, and risk. Cost, this is really affordable solution when you look at it as a complete VR platform. What it can give you, the offerings, what you can do with it, what you can accomplish with it. And this is a time efficient solution. That's where we're talking about the time factor. Time factor, it could take you less than 2 weeks to learn everything that you need to know about the solution itself, the creation, where to access your 3D assets, the libraries. Here at the bottom, they provide you with huge resources, millions of 3D assets you can access for free. Also, the risk factor, we're trying to give this solution as a free, but with this limitation, so you get the chance to try out everything about it before you move ahead with actual production, with official productions. Like, you can use this, as you've seen in the video, you can use this for product demonstration, for training, for academic institutions, for education. We'll see together how this can be used through the use cases, but I'll move to the use cases before after just I create something real quick for you guys. Um, Basically, here I'll introduce you first actually to the solution, the VR Studio. Here at the bottom, you have the 3D assets libraries, one, two, three, four, actually one, two, three. The fourth resource is the ability to import just any CAD file or any design of your own that you would like to interact with it inside VR. This is through the here. This is done through the import. Okay, just to make sure the import is not showing on the share screen. Okay, so here, why not showing on the screen? Through the file button, you have access to what's called the import feature. You may import just any model or design of your own you would like to interact with it inside VR. Here at the bottom, you have libraries. You have something already been built or made by here at the SimLab, our team. Different categories from different domains, anything that you would like, just click on it and it will be automatically uploaded and added to your scene. If you would like to just those with the yellow arrow means that they need to be downloaded. You just sign into your free account and they will be automatically downloaded. Here you may control the object that you have uploaded. G on the keyboard enables you to place it on the ground level. Here, you're actually able to move it inside your VR scene or VR creation scene using your arrow keys along with the mouse to maneuver your movement. What you're looking at is that it's like the X, Y, and Z axis. It's like you use the green arrow, for example, to drag it left, right, the blue to drag it up and down, and the red to bring it backward and forward. G again to press to place it on ground level, and you just here you can enjoy building your VR scene. We're talking here about objects, but moving to the environments. This is basically an empty environment. So I'm gonna need to have actually a building. Picture it as this is an empty scene. It just contains a door. And now I need to have a building to host that door. But actually, it works sometimes vice versa. So it's like I'm just going to import the scene itself. Okay, the environment. This is the auditorium. Again, with the yellow arrow, you still have full access for them. I'll move inside my auditorium. This is the building that I've imported. See, regardless of the size of the building, I'm still moving using my arrow keys to maneuver inside. I'm going to go inside the building now, and this is my door, really huge door. Still, I'm gonna, here at the left, you have the map or the tree. If you select the upper order of your object, this is the upper order. Clicking here at the middle, or it's like the sun sign, you can maximize or minimize your design or model itself. Placing G on keyboard to place it on ground level. So we're gonna have a bit modified size of our door. Now it looks realistic. Now I'm gonna just move closer to my door to start creating actions and interactions. I'll take this off. Okay, so I'm having better access to my designer model. So basically, so far, what we've built is just imported designs from our local libraries. So far, these are the libraries that you have free access for, along with these libraries, also the environments itself. Also, the third library that you have entire free access for is the Sketchfab integration. Sketchfab is actually an online library of 3D assets that SimLab gives you free access for. What you here for is like you make sure that you signed in with your own account that you've created to sign up to VR Studio or SimLab VR Studio. Just make sure that you signed in. This has to be lit in green. Click on it, and it will pop up a screen like this. Just successfully logged in, and get back to the VR Studio. You're good to go. Here's the library. You just type in whatever 3D model you would like to look for or anything that you would like to see in VR. So, for example, I'll just look for Cadillac. Or you have a lot of 3D models that are Cadillac 3D models. Um, Going to a different, totally different segment. Let's look up something, a microphone. if you'd like to build a VR experience, actually, let me just, before switching to microphone, I would just want to show you that this library, if you can see it, this library has, you have full access to all the models within. It's like you can view the model itself on Sketchfab. You just can import it to your scene itself. So now we have our Cadillac here inside the auditorium. Like I just wanted to show you how you can manipulate the design and you still have access to all the resources in the library itself, pressing G on my keyboard again to place any model on the ground level. So now I'm just gonna pull it aside here. I'm gonna make sure to animate this car for you as well. I'll do something real quick. Actually, I'm gonna take off the auditorium, guys. Okay. I'm just gonna upload something more dynamic environments. We're just gonna upload the ground. So maximizing the screen, clicking on the ground itself, and gonna make sure it is maximized so I have the better side of the ground. Okay, ground. Okay. See this red dot in the middle? It enables you to maximize or minimize the ground C. That actually, this is the environment. This is one of the simplest environments you could ever have. This gives you a full, gives you actually the place where you would like to build your VR experience. So we have now two resources or libraries. You have three access for free, the Sketchfab 3D scenes and 3D models. The third is the import. But this you can access through the file option here where I'm standing right now, but I can't see it. It's on the shared screen. But actually you can just, if you download the solution, if you go to the import button, you can import whatever design regardless of the format. Why regardless of the format? VR Studio is among our VR creation solutions that accepts more than 30 CAD file formats. I'm just gonna share my screen again on the website, show you the supported formats. Okay. Here I'm standing on the main page. Just go to the VR Studio and the help supported formats. So regardless of what is of the software that you have used to build your own model or 3D asset, you just look it up on the import model when you just log into the software, click on the file option, and then you'll be able to import your model and animate it. So after you actually imported your model, you will need to create a sequence of animations and responses. This is easily done through the visual scripting. Don't be scared. Don't be scared or don't worry about it. It's really easy to build or to go around this solution. I will go back to the VR Studio. Basically, the concept here is that we gave the end user the ability to build an advanced VR experience without needing to have any programming or design skills. And this is the promise. So here we're back on the VR Studio. We imported those two models. I'll just select my door, the model through the tree itself. I can select the upper order. It means that all the elements of the door itself are selected right now. But what if I actually want to create some reasonable animation or animation for the door itself? What is it going to look like? So, testing, this is basically the front side of the door. I can see the handle itself, but it's detached from where it's supposed to move. So if this door moves, for example, if you can see the handle are still not moving. Not sure if you can see my screen. Okay. So what I'm here, you're looking at is part of the door. I want it to be attached to the handle itself. What I gotta do now is bring it back to its original position, select the hand and the side of the door, and now I can merge as a parent. Okay, and add parent. Now it's like front door. Now it's one piece. If it's going to move, the handle also will move along with the door itself. So, but I'm gonna do some slight modification. If you press on 4 on your keyboard, this shortcuts are available also on the documentation. It's among the things that I'm going to be sharing with you on the help tab on our website. This is available for you for free. You just switch it or slide it to the left, where exactly is supposed to be the axis. Press 3 to remove it, and you can test it again. This was supposed the door to be moving, so it looks good now. This is a realistic door. And what I'm gonna do now, go to the animation tab. Now I want this door to be moving once. This I'm assuming this is the first movement. This is by first 10, and I want it to be move again by frame 30. You can do the vice versa. It's like also, and you can do further movement also. Basically, you created an animation for the door itself. You selected the animation from the time lapse, and now you click on the animation sequences. You call that whatever you want, front door. So now you can actually create a reverse for it. So assume, like, think of it as if you were animating a wheel, you would want to have clockwise movement and an automatic generation of a counterclockwise movement. So it's like, think of it, this solution really dynamic, and you can learn it in a couple of weeks maximum. Because I'm gonna be showing to you one of the third libraries that you have. One of the libraries that you have free access for is the SimLab VR Studio tutorials or SimLab Academy, which takes you from zero to hero. Anything you need to learn from scratch about creation, running, collaboration, everything is explained in those tutorials. In addition to so many resources you will be having free access for, I'll be sharing with you at the end of the session also. So this option gives you the ability to create a reverse, delete from keyframes also. So I'll just click OK. Now, if you go to the sequences tab, you can find your sequences. These are we're done for testing. And the front door can be tested. This is the animation we've created together. So back into the animation, I can even take the animation off if we want to build something really professional. So go to the animation tab again, and the door, bring back to its original position. So, okay. Now we've created the movement. We would need to connect this animation we've created to a human interaction. So what happens if actually a human inside the VR interacts with the door? What I'm going to do this through the training builder. This is done through the training builder. This is the visual scripting tool. What you can do with this tool is it can actually create hundreds and thousands of nodes of actually triggers, actions, interactions. This is also explained in detail in the SimLab Academy, but I'm going to show you very simple demonstration of what you can do with it. This is basically you connect the object itself with the animation that you have created. So basically, you select the upper order of the door itself, but you'll need to select the portion of the door that you have animated, which we call together is the front door. So it's not like if you touch the entire door along with the frames, but if you touch just that specific part and you select it with your mouse, and it will be defined automatically here. So if anybody touches this door, what is supposed to happen. Play a sequence. We created this sequence together. It will be defined here, also select it, and just connect with execute. So if anybody inside the VR touches that door, the play sequence or the animation we created together will be played. So this is for a simple door. This is a game for the Cadillac. Disney is really good design. This is really good design. So much details, and it gives me the opportunity to build really good VR experience. Actually, it doesn't scare me, but it actually motivates me to build something really advanced with it. So it depends on the design itself. So, for example, like if you select the door, there is huge components for the door itself. It's like let's test out. If you come across a design that you feel like you need to deal with this side or this door, it's the driver's door, but you don't need to deal with the passenger's door. So what I'm gonna do here, you have a really good feature up here. It's called brake geometry. I'm not sure why it can't be displayed on the shared screen, but brake geometry gives you the ability to just select that specific door. I don't want to be associated with that door. So I'm going to be able to animate this door independently. But still, it's really detailed. So we're talking about really huge components of the door itself. If you can see, we're talking about the interior design of the door itself, some portions and parts. I'm not really a cars engineer or expert, but these are the parts that actually forming the door itself. So really good, detailed, realistic design and would make my VR experience looks amazing. So I'm gonna redo this. It's detached. Again, I'm gonna select this part, break geometry. Okay, okay. Let's see it. Uh, okay. All those parts that actually forming the door itself, they need to be selected as part of the entire frame. Okay, we've noticed that the glass is associated. We need to break geometry, so now it's been detached. The frame looks good. The keys, the handle. I can select the handle and the keys and the glass. Also the mirror. Mirror are detached, associated. See, they are associated. Okay, I can break geometry for those guys. And now they're independent. I can treat with them or deal with them alone. Okay, here you can merge. Let me just show it to you real quick. And you can add parent, left mirror. Now we can merge it with the glass also and the shots of the body. Wait 1 second. Here are the keys, parts. These parts are still okay. Okay, the door starts here, right? Okay, this is the door. This is the door. And this is the mirror. I want it to be associated. Also, left mirror. This is the glass and the frame and the handle and the keys. They can be add current and drivers. Okay, now. Okay, the interior design of the door itself shows here. So what I'm gonna do now is that attach this part, still break geometry. Okay, add this to the driver's door. Now it can be part of the driver's door. Change parent, driver's door. So now it's a part of the driver's door. Okay, these parts they look good. Keys, they need to be detached, change parent, added to the driver's door. Okay, change parent, geometry. Okay, change parent. I'll select the driver's door. Now it's part of it. I'll put geometry again and select it. Change parent, driver's door. Okay, handle, keys, they're all now as part of one entity, like you can say. The inner parts also can be merged as parent. What you can do eventually is that you can animate the entire door by its components. So like here, also, these parts can be broken in geometry. Also, it can be merged to be a part of my door. Give me a second. Okay. Change parent. Driver's door. There you go. So now they're part of the driver's door. I select the upper order of the driver's door and look at this part. Okay. This is the other handle. You can do now. Go to the other side. That repeats your mission. Just select it and go down here, the key itself, and this will enable you to break geometry. Okay, change parent. Okay, so now we have changed their parents. Then selecting the driver door, also upper order. So now we're good. I'm just gonna add the inner parts. Go inside the car itself. Materials, designs, and models. Okay, that's how the design from the inside, really detailed. So I'm really glad to deal with this model, even though it's so much detailed. But I'm just gonna make sure while I'm inside the Cadillac, I just need to make sure it's the interior parts are detached. So I'm gonna break geometry for them. You see those doors, they're marked and highlighted in yellow, which means that they're part of one entity, one object, 3D asset. So don't be scared about this. Just look at it as if you are actually dealing with a car itself. So you don't need the passenger door associated with the driver's door. That's correct. That's of course the case because you're building a VR experience. So if your user enters the VR experience and attempts to interact with the car, if he interacts with the driver's door, he doesn't need the passenger's door to be open also. So think of it of how is my VR experience going to look like. Of course, when you go through the tutorial, step by step, this mentality or this mindset will develop for you. And I promise, like in a 2 weeks time, you'll be master in VR creation. This is done so far. I'm sure that so much of you have not witnessed any kind of coding or design skills. We've imported our designs from internal libraries, actually. I invite you all to download the solution to, if you have your own models, of course, you can deal with those models because the solution supports more than 30 models or 30 file formats. Now we're just gonna break geometry, break geometry for the interior parts. Now I can deal with this part independently. Okay, they need to be broken as well. Oh, this is really huge detailed design. even though you can see those uh, parts, they can be merged under one parent. See, guys, I don't want to take this complex for you, but if you really have a good design, you can go wild in VR creation without needing to have any coding or anything else. Again, it's like simple to use solution, simple to animate if you really know your way around. It's just like I'm going inside using my arrow keys and maneuvering inside my VR creation scene on the VR studio using my arrow keys and the mouse. This is combined movement. Also, this is explained in the documentary, so you don't need to really to worry about it. You just select those parts you would like to be part of the your original design or your original object. We're working now on the driver's door itself. We can break geometry, of course. So now they're part, a dependent part of the instrument. You see here, the guy who designed this also given a name for the family itself. This is a family of objects. It represents actually, the controls. You can control the windows. This is basically a panel here. You can disconnect, break geometry. Also, you can merge again and as to be part of one parent. You can go really in detail about this. See those parts, know you can actually interact with them and you can merge under one parent. So what you can do now, select all those parts, the upper order of the parts itself. Now, here is the panel, the mother of all of them. Okay, this is the mother. I use the tree. Okay, what you can do now is change parent, go into the driver's door. Now it's done. Okay. You can select the driver's door. Hopefully it works. Okay, you're gonna need to disconnect this driver's door. You got the idea. See, it's still highlighting here. Okay. What I'm gonna need to do now is select this object in my tree and change parent. Just change it the way it is. Now we have the driver's door. We selected the driver's door. Side. Keep this as parent. Okay. Change parent. Just like this. Going to driver's door. Hopefully it's okay. So if you move the door itself, we'll still have the panel that didn't move along with the door because it's so much detail. It's like you can select each of these objects, even the logo of Cadillac. See how much detail that this design is. I don't want to scare you guys, but think of it. This is almost the ultimate complex case you could ever deal with. This is a really detailed design. If you want to build a really advanced VR experience, and we all know how much VR experience actually costs, but this is an ultimate design that is so much details, but still you can work your way around with it and build a really good VR experience. So I'm just gonna press 4, move the axe a little bit here to this direction. Okay. What I mean by the axe, I want this door to move around this axe. So whenever I actually interact with the door itself, 3 on your keyboard is supposed to open this way. Okay, you got the point. The idea is that you create an animation for your door And when you play that animation, this is supposed to what happens, like the door itself to open as an entire entity. This is what is supposed to happen. Okay. Again, we're gonna select this, delete, alt, and there, delete option, and delete option. Okay, driver's door, and where you go. Okay, I'm gonna animate the wheel as well. The wheel looks so much detail as well. Cadillac, and it really advanced designs. Like, look at it, how much detail there is. But I can look at it as one object, select, control. Now you can change the parent and actually add the parent. Now they can be as the front left wheel. Okay. What we're gonna do now is create an animation for the wheel. So you can see that the wheel itself as a capture part is already connected with the back right wheel. What we should have done is that we should have disconnected the brake or brake probe geometry for that wheel. What we're gonna do now is brake geometry. Okay. Now I can select the chassis or the inner part. Yeah, select all those details. Okay. Okay. Front left wheel. Can just select those parts. Okay. Okay. See how much actually design or objects inside the wheel itself. This is really detailed design. Again, you don't really have to go far with this selection or the objects itself. You can do really simple creations, VR creations without needing any coding or design skills. I've selected all those parts. And now I'm going to change the parent to be part of front left wheel. Now I can animate the wheel itself by frame 20. I don't need that animation sequences to open. Okay. I can create another sequence for the wheel. Okay, left door. Add the parent. Wheel. And create an animation for that wheel. For the water to rotate in that direction. Then to rotate back. Again to go in that direction. Okay. So far, I created this animation. I can save it as a sequence. One, here. Okay. Now save my sequences. Okay. I can go to the training builder. Again, use it. Like I said, the node. Connect the object with your node here and the sequence that you have created, and you just connect them through the execute button. Now you have a full VR experience. But you, of course, the tutorials, the third library, is available in the SimLab Academy here. Anything that you need to learn, getting started, VR creation, from A to Z, anything that you need to know about the solution itself. Also, these are libraries enable you to edit your scene like we're dealing with the environment itself. I would like to modify the environment also, like you said, the Sketchfab and those 3D assets library. One more thing I would like to introduce you to, and is the VR warehouse. VR warehouse is free, ready to use virtual reality experiences. You just sign into your account. So these are libraries free to use when you download the software for the first time, even for advanced user with the pro version. They have full access to ready to use or actually ready to run VR experiences from any domain. We've took this far to even cover digital twin experiences. This is really up to still an upcoming technology. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but this is an upcoming technology, and SimLabs really will be proud to introduce you to that technology. But now, for now, we've covered the top demanded domains by our end users: educational presentation, real estate showcasing. These are ready to use VR experiences. You just click on the domain itself and you will find a ready VR experience. Like here, we're talking about a modern villa. I'll just go for a new. I'll just click no. This is a new scene, a new building scene. The modern villa from the real estate can be uploaded as an independent VR experience. You just post it over there or upload it on even on the free version. They're available. And the warehouse, you're able to post your own work and sell it. This is a SimLab a feature that enables you to interact with the VR community as part of a SimLab complete VR solution. Now, you've actually got the idea of what is the creation solution. This is basically the first step. We get back once the solution completes uploading. Here is what I wanted to discuss with you: as after the creation solution, you get to run your creations on the. Let me just reshare my screen. So we'll show you the use cases, how much use cases actually this solution has been used in. Going to use cases, share. Okay. What you're looking at, Jordan Mac, if you can just share this use cases link with the users, I really appreciate that. Use cases. Basically, what you're looking at here is the domains, the segments that this solution has been used in. You're going to be looking at advanced VR experiences, not just the top demanded, but also our end users' requests. So we're looking at, for example, domains from educational, from K-12, higher education, vocational, oil and gas experiences. We've gone this far with creating VR for the users and people from different backgrounds. Let's see, control, save, okay. Just name it anything. So, for example, from the firefighting category, really demonstrates and one of the use cases that actually we're very famous for is the firefighting training. Okay, my VR studio tells me that the upload has been completed for the ready to use VR experiences. I just want to show it to you and pop back to the use cases. I'll just stop sharing and present again to show you the VR studio. Click on VR studio. Okay. So, uh-huh. This is what you're about to see now go. This is the ready scene that we've uploaded from the VR warehouse. This is a fully built, complete VR experience, and I'm using my arrow keys to move inside again, maneuver. What you're looking at is the starting position for the VR user. This is where he going to start. This is a villa, along with the swimming pool and all the design that actually conclude. If you go inside, also you will have huge facilities to deal with. This is just one of the VR experiences that are ready for our end users. You can even modify this experience to match your needs. So the VR warehouse is in continuous development. SimLab Soft has a really professional art team that continuously uploads free to use models of the warehouse on different categories based on the demand. You can find also sequences and edit your sequences and animations also. They are already made. You can just, when you move outside, just hit on the VR viewer button here. You can see it. VR viewer, show in viewer, if you can see. This is basically, you can test your creations directly if you click on the VR viewer where I'm standing right now. It's like here is the VR viewer. I'm just not able to share my entire screen. Present, share screen, entire screen. Okay. There you go. So we're looking at here the VR viewer option. Inside your building scene of the VR studio, you're actually able to show in viewer. So imagine, guys, we've imported any of the ready-to-use models or have built our own, whether using the libraries or have imported anything from the import option here. See how much formats are supported. You just select anything from your PC and import it right here. And through this option, this is the Villa model we've uploaded from the libraries here through the warehouse. This is the warehouse. We're looking at different domains. Okay, we'll pick the real estate, the modern villa. This is basically a design. This is the modern villa we've selected together. And now I can show in my viewer, test it directly. It would take you directly to your VR viewer. You can test this VR viewer, the VR experience. Three modes. This is what makes us a cross-platform. So it's a free cross-platform VR viewing tool. What is it? The VR for the SimLab VR viewer. It's free, so you don't really to have to build your VR viewing. You're actually able to run it on any device, regardless of the operating system or the device itself or the platform that you're running on. So you select the desktop, for example, or the PC VR connector or the standalone VR to view your VR experience. I've already launched the VR viewer. I'm gonna close it and run it using the desktop mode. This will run my experience. This is one of the ready to use, by the way, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. This is something from the ready to use experiences, and you're able to modify it. It will take me immediately to the VR viewer. Now it's running on my third screen. I'll just move it to you so you can guys watch it. Okay. Mm, now a second. Okay. I'll just move it right here. You're inside the VR experience we uploaded from the warehouse. Oh, something playing on the TV already. I'm using my desktop mode. You can still access the this you can still access the full VR experience on your VR Studio when you download it for free. Now we're here gonna, like I said, demonstrating like again the use cases. One of the most highly demanded domains are the training and the educational, but an example of the training is the firefighting training. This experience has been built to train users on firefighting, the usage of material, the usage of equipment, and also has been run with collaboration mode. So this tells you the entire story about creation, collaboration. We're gonna move to this experience and play it so you know what is it like to run in multi-user mode. Here is actually now you can have your own avatars, but this example has been made before we do that. And approximately 15 users access this week's experience to show them how they train on the usage. And there you can have actually a user interaction system that has been made inside the VR experience, uh, screens that provides messages to the users of what they need to do, instructions. This is basically part of your VR vision, which you can do easily with VR Studio. Here is another example. So the basic idea of use cases here, the link have been shared with you guys. Use cases are actually demonstrating it's more like a Bible. It's like an index. It's like what you can do with this thing. It's like your entire mind map will actually be demonstrated through this use cases page. Uh, Another thing is the VR viewer. I've already launched the VR viewer. This is the VR viewer. Like I said, it's you can download for free here the VR Studio, and I'll just go to the VR viewer through here. You can download through your our website. It's available on any device for free. If you made your Mac, just share the download link with users. VR viewer you can download on any device. You can actually use to run your VR experiences, your VR content, share it with your end users, collaborate on it with your end users. This is basically your free running tool from our VR platform, SimLab VR platform. Back to the viewer itself, already launched it. I just want to show you one more resource. If you can see, I'll just sign in. The same account you've used to sign up with VR Studio, you can use to sign in. Here. You have another resource for 3D or VR experiences ready to use. Here you may set up, like for example, the VR viewer. If you download it, you may set up your avatar using this option here at the top right corner. Anything that you have created with VR Studio can be exported and added again as add model. Like we've built something together. I'm not sure if anything that we've built from back in time, you can just select it. Okay, back on desktop, the oil and gas, oil and gas, oil and gas. Okay, this PC. I'll just search for something. Garage. On that. Anything that you have built with VR Studio can be exported to this VR view tool as your own content. Anything that you have created will just show up here. I've just launched the VR Studio to show you how you can export your work. It should be exported as a VR package, and so you can add it here on your VR viewer. Your free account on the VR viewer, anything that you have created with VR Studio will show up here when you add it as a model. Shared model, anything that has been shared with you. So these are your creations. You can share it through this option. So do you have these connections on your contacts? You just share it directly with them. Here you can add as a contact any new contact that you come across. You just add their email addresses, and it will show up here on sharing, on even collaboration. We'll get to this part. This is the amazing part about it. But these are your creations, your own work, shared models. Again, anything that's been shared with you, and the SimLab models. This is your third library for free assets or free 3D or VR experiences, professionally built VR experiences from different domains and categories. You may just select any of those and run them on desktop or VR. If you log into your account on your headset, on your VR account, if you log into your VR account on your VR headset, we have apps, of course, on all of the top selling VR headsets worldwide. You can download the VR Viewer app and log into your account using these credentials, and you can run any of those models, the SimLab models, on your headset. SimLab models available for you for free. So these are the professionally built from different domains, like I said. You can even start collaboration with it. So what I mean by collaboration is that this is the add-on you can try out also for free when you download the VR Studio and the VR Viewer. You can try out with up to 3 users for 240 minutes. So this will give you a glimpse of what is it like to build something professional with SimLab VR platform. Collaboration, anything that you select, any content that you select from your creations or the SimLab models, you can start a collaboration session with it. Collaboration, I have capacity here on my account here at the top right corner. If you can see, I have the capacity to host up to 20 users inside this VR experience. So 20 people will be inside my kitchen. This is how it's like. Well, it's a crowded kitchen. It's going to be so it's like a server ready. Once you're here, you just hit add contacts. Anybody who you would like to add, it would show their name. Since they are a contact of yours, they will show your name or their email address. That's simple as it gets. You just simply select the contact, and they will be receiving an invitation directly on their VR viewer accounts. What if they don't have a VR viewer? Mm, okay, no problem. We took care of this by generating a link, invitation link here at the right. Generating an invitation link. This is a public invitation link. You just send it to your user, and they will be prompted inside your VR creation as a guest. So we think of it as a 360 complete VR solution, giving you the ability to spread out your ideas, your trainings, your products, your services. This is the ability to delve into the fourth industrial revolution. We've already heard about it. And from its widest gates, like from the biggest door, you just enter, participate, take the lead in the product you're manufacturing or the service that you're offering people. This is your best way to enter with a professional tool that gives you the ability to really be part or leading part of it. Well, thing is that I wanted to show you is how you can export your VR content. It's like when you create something or actually use anything from the VR warehouse, you may just export it as a VR package file. That's how you show it. VR package file, it will be exported as a VR content, and you can upload it again to your VR viewer account. So uh, the warehouse, the gallery also another source. I can share with you the link, or Mac, if you please share the VR gallery link. What is the VR gallery? VR gallery has ready to use content also. You can watch, if you can see here. I shared the link. Any VR experience on the VR gallery here, you can watch as a video or just simply start as ready VR experience. When you hit the video, it will also show you how is it like experience. Uh, so you have an idea before you run the VR experience. Here, for example, is a really legit example of what we call the VR evaluation. This is something some of you might be interested in, which is the ability to assess your end user's knowledge about a certain topic. We've done this through three domains. You can build your own quizzes, testing criteria, and custom user tracking metrics or custom assessment metrics. It's like you can track the user movement, whatever they are doing inside the VR experience. And you can reflect this into one platform, which you call the SimLab admin. So each user, you send them this VR experience through your VR viewer, you share this content with your user through the VR viewer, they will be assessed, they will be tested if you include quizzes or tests like these that you're about to watch. These are user interaction messages that you can set up in your VR experience. Like I said, don't be scared. Everything is explained step by step in the SimLab Academy. Everything that you need to know. So you're giving them instructions. This is also one of the messages that you would like your end users to have if you would like them to direct them into certain or doing certain actions. There's actually voice for this one. You As to what they can do or what they're supposed to do inside the VR experience. Arrows on the floor, giving them the instructions after receiving the messages. Hold the firefighter and go turn the fire down or put the fire down. This has been actually set up as this fire extinguisher has been set up as a grabbable object. This is also you can do inside VR Studio. At the end of the experience, it should display, this is just an example, ladies and gentlemen, it should display a message. And you as an admin, as a creator of this VR content, you're free to display this message or not, but it should show the experience that this task has been accomplished in this time frame or based on this time frame. So how much time actually took this user to put the fire down, and this will be reflected immediately onto your SimLab admin. I'll just show you something real quick, how it works. Um, okay, this is already experience from the VR viewer. I'll start this VR experience. Okay, what I'm gonna be doing now, you can see me, I'm moving inside the VR experience, interacting with the media. Okay. Design, option, okay. This is basically same characteristics we're looking at. I'm just waiting for the screen to sync with you guys. What you're looking at is a direct user interaction system. What is it like? Giving them instructions to what they can do inside the VR. Uh, hold the screwdriver. I need to hold something grabbable. Start unscrewing the screws. This is done simply by placing the screws, and it will keep giving me instructions. Place the screws in the tray. This option actually you can do in your VR studio to make this screw. What is it? I'm holding the screw. It's not sinking. Okay, I'm holding the screws to put them in my tray. I'll keep it in my hand so you guys can see it. This, when I let go, you can actually tell this screw to fall down on the floor by gravity. Now, has been placed on the tray itself. Okay. Hopefully it's still syncing. You can try out this out for free actually on the desktop. You don't need to have headset. You can try out this on yourself on the desktop. I just hold the cap, grab the cover, and place it on the table. Still taking too much time. Escape. Grab the old fan. This is the old fan. The basic task about this experience is to replace an old fan with a new fan. This is the old fan, and we need to place the new fan in place. It's basically the cap itself, and we need to put screws back in place. Okay. Anything, those contents. This is the mechanical pump experience. Also, you can try it out. This is basically a 3D model for coming from or originating from 3D PDF. I just want to demonstrate for you guys that it's easy to create an interaction and animation for the device. This is used through the training builder, and you can create an evaluation metric directly through the VR Studio. This is you build a customized quiz, multiple choice questions, surveys, so you get the answers, feedback from your end users when you share through the VR viewer. Also, you can create a custom user tracking metrics, like you display the messages, for example, and then eventually at the end of the test, you display like pass or didn't pass according to a specific time frame. This is also available on the VR viewer. If you have time to go over the solution, you can try out for free. Also, one last thing I would like you guys to be aware of is that we have our own Discord channel. It's one we support. If you go to SimLab support, this is the Discord community, free VR community. You can join our VR community, and anything that you would like to learn, you can join our VR community for free, and it will be happy. We'll be happy to have you there. I'll leave the mic for Jormac. There you go. Jormac. Okay.
Yep, encouraging everyone to head over and check out SimLab's website. It's simlab-soft.com. Okay, our raffle draw for LinkedIn Business Premium subscription is still up for grabs. Encouraging everyone to comment down hashtag SimLab. Yep. And yeah, we're now open for questions if you have any. Okay. I guess it's probably me. We have some users here, Abe, who are keyshot users, mechanical design engineers.
Okay.
Can you share to us some of the advantage of using SimLab to create, I guess, rendered shots for CAD part or assembly? Specifically, we have users here coming from SolidWorks. Any thoughts on that?
Outstanding. Yes, outstanding. SolidWorks is one of the most famous formats that is supported by
Yeah.
our VR creation users. If you just go to the supported formats here, you can find the SolidWorks as on top of the list. Um, and the supported formats here on this page, they're quite present, and we're so proud to present for you guys one of the use cases. Like if you just go to the use cases page, you will be able to find live CAD models. Like These
Wow.
experiences, what you're looking at here is, you just me share my screen, VR Studio, the use cases, go to cars, products, and mechanical CAD. These experiences what we're looking at, the examples, both two examples has been done with actual models, CAD models. For example, this snow blower were imported as a design to a VR experience, and 20 users accessed the VR experience itself and were able to communicate and interact with the snowblower itself inside VR. So, yes, full support to more than 30 CAD file formats. Or if you're thinking, with my work on this design software, be compatible with the solution, the answer is yes.
Awesome. Someone's also asking, how about Fusion 360? Is it also compatible as well?
Yes. Yes, of course. It's the supported formats are just right here, guys. Even if it is not supported, you simply you go to our plugins page.
Plugins.
Yes, plugins gives you the ability there. They work as it's like a bridge between your software and our software, and we're either just file format if you'd like to import between them, or just get your design ready to be used inside our VR creation solution. So, yes, here is the supported formats if you'd like to share it. Also, this is the documentation for if you would like to share. This is the documentation, and this is the supported formats, guys. Also, there you go. So,
Can you share? Someone's also asking, can you share something that came from Revit? We have Revit users as well who are currently tuning in.
yes, yes, Revit, mostly architecture people
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
real estate. Yes, there is like if you go again to the use cases,
Yep.
busy.
That's it.
Okay, here's the demonstration of not just only Revit. We're looking at numerous use cases has been imported. Also, the gallery you may use to go over any of the real estate architecture, also models. These are ready to use models. On this experience, if you think of having multiple models, I would recommend this experience here at the end. If you have multiple models or multiple design, this experience teaches you and shows you how to teleport. It's like you click on a button, you and your users inside the VR experience will be teleported to another design. If you have a customer who's like might be interested in more than just one design from your Revit software, and you would like to demonstrate more than this design for a villa or for a building, this experience here, the one I'm standing on right now, it helps you to do that very easily and smoothly. So the gallery, yes, these are the use cases for real estate experiences, like the kitchen model. This is the offices model. You may run and actually watch as a video, and you have the kitchens also the kitchens, interior design, also the gallery. You may just surf into the examples, which you can actually watch as a VR experience. If you go to the architecture, you can actually watch as a VR experience and as a video actually, and you can run start. You just hit the start button, and it will immediately take you to the VR viewer, so you can enter your VR experience or this VR experience.
Nice. Uh-huh. We have a question from one of our supporters. Good evening, Sir Hans. Is it possible to have global illumination for rendering or during the VR interaction?
Global animation for rendering.
Yeah, for lighting simulations.
Yes, that's definitely possible. It's like in the VR Studio. This is also supported on the father of VR Studio. If we're dealing with an advanced user that might be used or needing advanced rendering and baking techniques, but also this is also supported on the VR Studio. If you can see it here, you just download the lighting scenes, all those options here at the bottom. The libraries gives you the ability to control your scene. Here at the top also gives you so much features that you would need to go over through the SimLab Academy. This is supported also on the father of the VR Studio, which is called Composer. Composer is the father of VR Studio, but VR Studio is solely oriented for VR creation. So yes, there is Lightning and support for scene editing, rendering, and baking. But VR Studio is solely oriented for this task, which is the VR creation. You still can modify your scene and the Lightning using these options and these libraries.
Okay, for those who wants, I guess, to the next level, customization, what are the recommended programming language that they should know?
Nothing. You don't need to know programming language. You don't need to
I mean,
have any programming skills, literally.
for those who would want to tinker.
No programming language. You don't need even to have any design skills. Like I showed you, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, in the VR studio, you have the ability to do visual scripting through the training builder. You just connect actions and interactions, actions and reactions. That's all the thing that you do. You just need to have logic, creativity. That's it. No programming languages.
Nice. Okay, another question. How about your recommended VR gear, headset gear?
Well, the most selling are the ones are actually already demonstrated on the VR viewer. But yeah, these are what we would recommend, because these are top demanded, because we're available there because our users from different countries, different regions of the world, we're able to detect that demand is going higher on these platforms and these hardware and operating systems. So this would be our recommendation for the VR viewer. You're able to run it and download the solution, actually the VR viewer on Windows, Mac OS, Android iOS, or the standalones, Oculus Quest, Oculus Go, Pico VR.
Okay, another question. How about can they use this in parallel with something like Unity and Unreal?
This is based on Unreal Engine, but this is standalone software.
Nice.
So yeah, the main task for us is uh, to make it easy for end users to benefit from VR creation, to make their lives more easier and dynamic, simpler to just delve into VR creation. They have their designs. If they don't, we give them millions of 3D assets they can use for free. We associated this with a really simple visual scripting tool that it gives you the ability to connect actions and interactions. And eventually, we provided you with a free VR viewing tool, which is the SimLab VR viewer. You can run, and your users they can download for free. You can run your creations on it. You can share from it. You can evaluate people on it. You can host up to 30 users on it on any of your creations. So yes, uh, we believe that this is a complete VR platform. That's why the demand is going higher. We are tracking or tracing demand like it's a supply and demand chain. You already know this, everybody. So demand is going in that direction. We need a zero code solution, and this it is. This is zero code complete VR platform.
Okay, another question. How does SimLab VR Studio handle performance optimization for complex or large scale virtual reality projects?
Very good question. Here is what you call like if you have a model or design that has, you already know people from design backgrounds, they already have like polygons and vertices that's actually combining or whatever the 3D assets is about, that is combined or built from vertices and polygons. And if you choose to either anything from the Sketchfab or just any 3D model, it's like I'm gonna pick something real simple here. Okay, we already picked a door. I'm gonna pick something real different. I'll select bedroom. I'll just like, um, downloading. Use auto. It's on the ground level. I'll just maximize my design. Now it's entirely selected on the tree. What I can do now is go to geometry, select the info tab. Since the question is about the the transitioning or dealing with large scenes, and imagine that this is your scene. So what you're looking at, when I selected the info tab, it displays the number of objects forming this bed. It displays the number of vertices, which is almost 345,002.4. 340, almost 350,000 vertices, and 115,000 polygons. This can be reduced. And this is the way, or this is the answer when you're dealing with really large scenes. While still having or maintaining the same quality, you just go ahead and after doing this huge number, it's not scary, not yet. But what you can do here is just mesh decimation. This is the option that you have. Is you reduce the mesh by percentage. It's like let's say 10%. Go OK, and reducing the mesh for you. Now it's done. Go again, view the info. Now the number has been reduced. We're looking at reduced number. Polygons almost 103,000. They were 115,000. The vertices now they're 60,000 something or 67,000 something. So yeah, this is the solution to deal with large scenes. Imagine that you're dealing with a yacht, so much details. The Cadillac garage, like for example, not just one Cadillac. We're dealing with the Cadillac garage. Like we're gonna have. See, as long as you're below 2 million vertices and polygons, you're gonna be just fine. If you exceed this, you might want to consider the mesh destination.
Right, so, how about for those who are using Maya? Definitely Maya, right, Abe?
Yeah,
Maya models with textures, they could definitely bring it inside SimLab VR Studio, right?
absolutely, absolutely. This is a complete solution, complete VR solution for all segments. The use cases tells everything about it, ladies and gentlemen. The solution has been used in real estate, has been used in interior architecture. This is really a better map for the use cases here. It's like when you look at it from this perspective here on the website, it's like training, agriculture, firefighting, medical, musical, oil and gas industry, vocational, product view, cars, electronic furniture, kitchens. Anything that you would select would pop up examples for you on designs from advanced design software, not just Maya, or AutoCAD or SketchUp or Sketchfab. We're talking about a complete solution that just gives you the benefit of really utilizing VR and taking your products and services and taking your success not just only to your local community. We're talking about a solution that will take your success and products worldwide.
Awesome. Okay, I guess that's the last question. Of course, for those who has further questions, okay, I'm flashing. I'm showing you the LinkedIn profile of Abe. Feel free to connect with him for more information and use cases for SimLab. Once more, encouraging everyone to check the website. Once more, it's SimLab Soft. Okay, let me flash it on the screen. Okay, and yeah, hoping we do this, I guess, at least annually with you, Abe. We bring in another set of people every year. Of course, we meet new people, we add new people to our community. Definitely, they should hear um, your message and advocacy as well.
Thank you, Jormac, for arranging this extraordinary event. And it's been really a pleasure meeting you all and to introduce us to a totally new scope and VR creation. This new high tech or this new technology is coming part of actually becoming more like a need than just a want. I want this technology. No, I need this technology in my institution, in my academy, in my business, and regardless of the domain that you might think of. Also, the SimLab not just only provides VR products or VR creation products, we provide also VR services. So this is part of the complete solution we are all about here. So thank you again. Thank you all for attending. Thank you, Jormac, and the team, the tech team also.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gabe.